what's up, y'all? And welcome back to another episode of that Dynamite review show on the Tricology News Talk. Did you miss us? Did you miss us? I know y'all did. But we back as always. And I'm your host with the most, as always, Mr. Tricology himself. And with me, as always, is my co-host, fresh off finishing off his production television series in Jamaica. Now, please welcome back. Now, Mr. Leland Benford. What's up, brother?
What is up, everybody? I am back and ready to talk about some Dynamite. We had a whole Jamaican production, so I was out of the country. I came back, man. I was just too tired to get on. So apologize we missed last week, because last week was an important show. It was the tribute show to Jay Briscoe, RIP Jay Briscoe. We haven't had a chance to talk about that yet. The wrestling world definitely lost a great talent, someone who never, I feel like, got a chance to scratch the surface of what he would be able to do on a bigger stage. So, RIP to Jay Briscoe and condolences to his family for sure. But yeah, we are back this week to talk about AEW Dynamite for last night from Cincinnati, Ohio, Jon Moxley's hometown. But we'll definitely get into that. What's been good with you, Trico? How's everything been going?
Man, everything's been crazy. So with everything that's just last Saturday with the Royal Rumble, we got WWE 2K23 news this week, gameplay coming up. Then we're on the road to NXT Vengeance Day this Saturday. Then before you know, you got Elimination Chamber, you got Revolution, and then after that, you got WrestleMania. So the next 2 months is going to be great. Actually, 3 is going to be crazy.
Yeah, the first part of the year is always a crazy time because you got the rush of WrestleMania coming, and you got all these different promotions going, Wrestle Kingdom and everything. So beginning of the year is always just a crazy time for wrestling.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you have not seen the Royal Rumble pay-per-view review that we did on the Respect the Combat podcast episode, I bet you guys go check that out on there, because we will be doing a couple more pay-per-view reviews on the Respect the Combat podcast, with the next one being NXT Vengeance Day. So be on the lookout for that. So just to get more content on the Respect the Comment podcast. But we are here to talk about AEW Dynamite, as this was in Jon Moxley's home turf in Ohio. And let me just say this: the first match started out in violence and a banger, and to end the show with violence and a banger. It's like I was watching freaking GCW show. They might have to change the damn name. Change the name. Change the name.
Yeah, last night episode of Dynamite was a hard-hitting episode for sure. I mean, we got blood right at the top of it. We got blood at the end of it. Both, by the way, look like they were cut open the hard way. You know, none of this, all the blood that happened in the first and last message was just blood that happened because someone got hit hard with something. So definitely a violent episode, but man, was it great to watch. It was great TV. It was great matches. But yeah, they definitely started off with a bang with Jon Moxley and Adam Page.
And a banger it was. So that was the first match to start off the show. And it was just everything back and forth. Like another one were backing down, no way. But in the end, Paige tried to pull out a Jon Moxley bulldog choke, but it was Moxley who was able to hook the leg and trap Paige into a flash pin win. So but after the match, Claudio and Wheeler stepped in to try to help Moxley, as Paige wanted to keep going. Commentary said Moxley could not have been happy with that, but it was a decisive win though. But both Moxley and Paige showed up. They still had the energy to keep going. Like, that was a fantastic pay-per-view caliber match to open up the Dynamite last night. The crowd was very into it. And like I said before, like the climax of this story is gonna end at Revolution. Now, I said before that they should do a last man standing match, but you have two other options. They can either do a Texas death match or a lights out match. So you have three options there. So what do you think?
Yeah, I want them to stay away from dog collar matches because the last two dog collar matches that happened, unfortunately, somebody from that match passed away. So let's stay away from dog collar matches. But definitely even a cage match, even something where they can just have some physicality with something else they can use to hurt each other would be great. This match, real quick, it was really cool. John Moxley came down to the ring with his dad. Um John Moxley pulled out a really good cutter in the middle of this match. It was great imagery with him putting his forehead on the mat and having this pool of blood just on the mat. Um, Adam Page was really hitting hard last night. It was a really good match. Also, really good just technique between them. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of I'm trying to hit this move and the other guy won't let me hit this move. So then the other guy has to get creative. It was a lot of blocking. It was a lot of real technical kind of wrestling things. There was a moment when Adam Page went for his buckshot lariat, and the way that Moxley like countered it was just such a nice technique way of doing it. And even the finish was a great just technical wrestling thing. Like he was just aware of his surroundings and aware of Adam Page head to foot ratio and was able to grab both and pull them over. So just really technical, like just technique that was shown in the match. Like this was a slobber knocker, but there was technique involved. Also, give it up to the camera guy who pretty much got hit like 3 times that night. But yeah, really good match. The moonsault that Adam Page did from the top and landed out there on his feet and kept his balance. I know his knees had to hurt. But yeah, just a really good slobber knocker. But with a lot of technical maneuvers in it to show the talent of these two professional wrestlers. So this was definitely a professional wrestling match in 2023 that can already be like, that might be something we talk about at the end of this year. Like go back and be like, hey, you remember that Moxley and Page match? That was crazy. But let's see how they top it at Revolution. Also, real quick, AEW, they went full Monty. I remember when they first did the new set, I said, okay, well, they do the set, also do the ring surroundings, and now the ring surroundings are also the color, but also now there's this black padded bar that goes on top of all of that. So these guys are really starting to look more and more like a legit professional wrestling company with these little touches, these little things that they're doing to their set and their exterior. I mean, the black and gold AEW is kind of, a thing of the past now. Now it's the white, the red, blue, and white kind of deal. But yeah, the show looks different. It feels different. It feels more professional. And I'm liking the way that it's looking now. It looks like a totally different, show.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something that you mentioned that I also want to bring up. That is that AEW was going to be on the world much more as they announced to do finally do house shows entitled them called House Rules. So those house shows will be starting in March.
Well, look at that. House shows now. Look at that. That's kind of cool.
Yep, absolutely. So you can be able to see more wrestlers in your city more often. Yeah, it ain't got to be like on a Dynamite, on a Rampage, Elevation, or Dark or anything. So just be on the lookout for those dates and for those house shows and where they're going to be located.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, the company is just growing like nonstop, man. They got no signs of slowing down.
Absolutely not. So so after that, where we cut to backstage, with Renee Paquette, and she's with the AEW Women's World Champion, Jamie Hayter. The Bunny Butcher and the Blade came out with Bunny congratulated Hayter on being Emma Suzuka last week on Rampage, and then challenged Hayter to a title eliminator match next week. Renee quickly threw to the television screen above them, where Saraya and Tony Storm were beating down Britt Baker as Hayter ran away to try to make the save. Now, two things. One, why are we getting Bunny versus Jamie Hayter? That's just a waste of time, for one. Number two, and I don't know if you saw what happened like weeks ago when Saraya and Tony Storm were jumping on with Willow Knight, and then I was like, hold on, wait a minute, what's going on here? They're turning heel already? But then I see the prosper of the with Ruby Soho and everybody else. So this got me thinking, maybe down the line we could get a AEW Originals versus the Outsiders and have a first ever women's blood and guts match.
Oh wow.
What do you think about that? What do you think about it?
That'd be something. They need a couple more people. They need like what, 5 each on each side. Because they need a couple more people. I'm sure they can find some people. I'm definitely was a little confused about this heel turn, and I don't feel like it really grabbed anyone or like it really like hooked on, because like Saraya is such a babyface because she's coming back, and Tony Storm was our babyface champion, that I feel like this heel turn is taking a little bit longer to get over that they're bad, and I wouldn't mind seeing Ruby Soho, eventually join the group, because they definitely fit the aesthetic. It's like all the rocker girls and kind of one group. Now, I don't think Tony Storm is like a rocker girl, but she can play it. She definitely got the look of like this 80s rocker babe. So yeah, this heel turn for me is a little slow to pick up, because I wasn't ready for them to be like heels, because she's just coming back. So to come back as a baby face then a heel so quickly, it seems like they're just like putting things into place, and they think the stuff they think that may work better. So yeah, I'm still gonna watch it, and see how it turns out. Now, Bunny versus Hayter just needs some people to beat it up, and Bunny is there, so that's why they fighting. She just need more people to beat up, and Bunny just happened to be there. I like Bunny. I thought Bunny was gonna do a bigger thing, but it is what it is. She plays her part. But yeah, that's what I think about the women's division. I want to see. I think they are growing more interest, with Britt and Saraya. I think they are growing more interest in their women's division.
Yeah, but I think the real question is that not with Hayter is champion, who is she gonna face at Revolution? That's like where all the women division is heading. Like, what is the prediction matches are we gonna get at Revolution? That's the question we need to answer. But we'll see.
Maybe they give it to Ruby, and then at Revolution, Saraya and Tony come out, and Ruby's like, "No, I don't need your help," and then they do something and realize that Ruby was in on it the whole time. That could be, classic and fun story to tell.
I think we might be leaning towards Hayter versus Saraya match.
I can see that. Hayter is actually doing really good as women's champion. Like I don't mind her being women's champion at one bit.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it might happen, because we need some elevator matches on the card. But we'll see how that goes. But the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Acclaimed, were in action, and they beat some jobbers called the Outrunners, bruh. Caster Rap compared the Outrunners to a bootleg Beverly Brothers, as the Acclaimed quickly scissored me Timbles, the Arrival, and the mic drop to an easy win. So they even did a triple scissor where Daddy asked for good measures.
Right, but, during the match, too.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know if you saw the therapy session that they had last week, and Billy Gunn really asked his son and said, "What will make you happy? We want those titles." So this week, the Guns immediately came out to the ring and officially challenged the Acclaim for the tag team titles. Bowens called them Rod and Todd and asked the crowd if the Ass Boys deserve a shot, which they got booed. They all got into the scaffold until Daddy Ass said enough and told the Acclaim to beat his sons up. Austin told his dad to leave like he used to do and go drown his sorrows in a bottle of a pill bottle. And then after a brief malfortune on the microphone, Daddy Ass came back in the ring and then "You got some balls, son? You think you got the balls, kid?" And one of them was like looking down. I'm like, "Look at me while I'm talking to you, boy." And then Daddy Ass said, "Next week, the Guns will get a tag team title shot, which baffled the Acclaim." And God was like, "Wait a minute. You gonna give them a title without talking to us?" So this is where I see this going. I see, because I can definitely smell a ruse here. I definitely smell it. I see that with everything that happened in the therapy session, I think Billy Gunn is gonna turn on the Acclaim and have his real blood sons win the tag team titles, even though they won't hold it for too long. They might end up losing it back to the Acclaim at Revolution. I don't know what they're gonna do, but if the Guns win the titles and keep it for a little longer, then that's when you can bring the FTR back and somehow go back to and continue the story that they had before FTR went on break. So you have two scenarios here to see where it is gonna go. But what are your thoughts? What do you think is gonna happen next week? What do you think?
Real quick, watching this last night and watching like Billy in the ring with these two teams, these two young teams. It really is just like seeing like his mentorship, and seeing like how Billy is like just encouraging these guys and mentoring these guys. I mean, their stories are good. You can tell, Billy is helping these guys tell these stories, and he's such a veteran. But this is an interesting story, right? Because at one point you do see like how Billy can just change and be back on his son's team. But at the same point in time, the story they've been telling is like that he's really down with the Acclaim at the same point in time. But this was definitely I like how they got these personal moments now coming out from Austin and talking about, run away like you always do and all these other things. So it is like some good storytelling happening here. Now, as far as next week, they can go either way. Something could happen where Billy is trying to help the Acclaim, but it ended up turning against them, and the Ass Boys win. But I don't know if they'll do that on the Dynamite and make that kind of ruckus. I mean, they can always let go of the belts just to get them back at Revolution. But AEW hasn't been known for like doing stuff like that just with belts to make Acclaim a two-time team already would be a little definitely like but I think people kind of like look down on that decision. But you know how do you keep the story going? How does it keep going? So something can happen next week where it's not a clean finish, or the titles are in the balance, and then they got to do a match at Revolution. But also shout out again to the Ass Boys, who every week become more and more like looking like superstars and looking like like guys you want to watch, and guys who are comfortable in the ring and know what they're doing. So shout out to the Ass Boys. Well, the Guns, the gun, I'm saying the Gun Club. But shout out to him, man, because I think this is a team that you can watch. Definitely Austin. I think he's going to be a big star one day.
All right. With that being said, we now cut to backstage with Alex Morez with and he's standing with Jungle Boy, and he asks, what's next for Jungle Hook? And he said he's done it with the tag team thing. Jungle Hook was just a one-time thing to take care of some adversaries that we needed to do, and that was it. So the tag team thing, it didn't work out as he thought it would in his past life, but now this year he will be champion again, but this time a singles champion. So that means that Jungle Boy could be coming for either the All Atlantic Championship, the TNT Championship, or even the World Championship. Wow.
Or FCW. Ah, look at that. What about that one?
We'll see.
Yeah, this is definitely cool seeing Jungle Boy go out on his own. You know, he's away from Christian Cage. He's away from Luchasaurus, and now he's his own man and going out there to see what he can, make happen. So it's our first time seeing him like this.
Yeah. And then we got Cote Takesha going against the one third of the ROH 6-man tag team champions, Brian Cage. So this was action pack here with Takeshita getting the biggest win in his AEW career so far with hitting the Avalanche Brainbuster on Cage, followed by the running knee to get the win here.
This match was really good to watch. Again, like another hard-hitting match. Also, with the new presentation of AEW, like the new set and everything, Brian Cage looks like a proper professional wrestler. Like it was moments where I felt like I was watching some WCW type stuff. Brian Cage, I think they need to give Brian Cage a couple more wins. I keep seeing this monster lose. I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna just look at him as a jobber. And he's too impressive. Has too impressive of a physique to lose as much as he does. So he looks like he should be a winner. He looks like he should be, getting us some wins. But Takesha is also, I think a real good prospect for AEW. For some reason, because he's a talented wrestler. But the fans here really do like him, and he is getting over. And now he's here full time just to wrestle. So he has, he's coming over to a new country. All he has is his job. So he's going to be wrestling like crazy. But he is very impressive. And I think I don't want to make a joke out of this, but his name does look like Take Shitta. If you're reading it, in an American kind of way, it does like Take Shitta. And I think if this was WWE, they already would have just changed his name to something else, So I don't know if they might look into that, but Takesha, or even like spell it differently so it can read Takesha and not Take Shitta. But that's just my personal opinion. If this WWE, Vince would have been changed that name to just his first name or something. So also last night, in the first couple of matches, I really want replays. AEW need more replays. I don't think they take advantage of the replay system enough. I think they need to kind of like these hard-hitting moments. I really do be wanting to see it again at that moment. And I think that's something they need to take advantage of more is replays.
Well, we'll see. Because Takesha, he got a long way to go. And he's only 27. And it's only a matter. I want him to win a championship gold. And I think the perfect title for him to win, I think, is the All Atlantic Championship. Like he'll be perfect for that. But he could win the TNT title, and then he could win the World Championship down the line. So no, we'll see. Down the line.
For sure. I think he definitely has a career in front of him.
Yeah. So Renee Paquette was backstage with the Jericho Appreciation Society, who said they don't need to cheat to defeat Ricky Starks at Andretti. Really? You just use Floyd. Stop lying. Why you always lying? And Jericho said if Starks wants another match with him, he will need to win the Garcia Guevara Gauntlet. Starks must beat Angelo Parker. He ain't that fly anyway, so always combing his hair like, bro, get out of here. Then fat face Menard. Then either Garcia or Guevara. They will let him know the last second. Jericho said they called the shots and ready to whip his ass. So you already know that Jericho will do everything to put over Ricky Starks. So they have him in this gauntlet match, which he's gonna run through the entire Jericho Appreciation Society. And then when we get to Jericho, that match will probably happen at Revolution, and then where Ricky Starks gonna get one of the big wins of his career, defeating Jericho at Revolution, because that's what we're going for here. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. Now, also, I do want to say Renee Paquette definitely does add something to the show. Seeing her do all the interviews and everything, she definitely does add a lot to the show. So she's definitely like, I like that we have like that one kind of lady that we like be able to see, now. So I think she definitely does add a lot, and I like the fact that she has this backstage role now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you already know this is going to build Ricky Starks back up to the world title picture. And when that time comes, I think he might be the one to dethrone MJF when that comes a time, that time when MJF needs to drop the title. So I feel like Ricky Starks is going to be the one. But now he just got to go through beating the top stars like Jericho. He's going to be on his way. He's going to be on his way.
Also, giving Ricky Starks more time to go against these different people and all of that. And, definitely is going to help his stardom. I think he has a good chance of being a good, top star in AEW. And hopefully one day holding the belt.
Absolutely. And then the Elite was back in the gym shooting some hoops with Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa, and Kenny Omega accepts Top Flight and ARR's challenge for the trios titles next week. Omega said if they want to shoot their shot, they better not miss. Kind of remind me of Carmelo Hayes at NXT. Imagine he come down to the AEW. I'm like, you still in my line? You still in my line? And then as Nick Jackson was about to hit a jumper, Ethan Page, Stokely Halfway, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy interrupted, and with Page challenging them to a trios match on Rampage, which the Elite accepted.
Also, what was up with Cassidy's little moan there?
Kenny was like, if you don't get your hands on me,
very much a Z-Gen kind of joke there, very much for the TikTok world. But yeah, I'm excited. I know the crowd there was excited that was going to be announced for Rampage. I mean, they got a chance to see it that night. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on Rampage. And I think anytime the Elite is on Rampage do a little bit better with the numbers. So I understand why they having them on there, and I look forward to kind of seeing that match on Friday. I ain't really been watching Rampage too much. I got to start watching this week. I'm going to watch for that one.
Yeah, and then we move to Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher, and this is Timothy Thatcher's debut in AEW. It's been a long time since I've seen that man. It's been since NXT, but him and Bryan Danielson definitely put out another banger here in the middle of the show. So right before in the final moments of the match, MJF walked out with his diamond ring, but he was wiped out by Kode Takeshita, who brought with MJF to the back. The ref recovered as Thatcher applied the further armbar, but Danielson got the ropes. Belly to belly throw connected as Danielson avoided the second attempt with a Reese German and the Bazooka knee for the win. And then afterwards, MJF and Takesha were shown backstage brawling until security finally broke it and agents broke it up. And then Renee steps in between the both and said, Tony Khan has signed a title eliminator match next week between the two. And MJF Pittsburgh say, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that. Well, it was like, too bad. You're fighting that man next week. So first off, another banger here with Bryan Danielson and Timothy Thatcher. Yeah.
Also, really cool that they did like background segments. They don't really do like backstage segments like that. So it was really cool to see them doing some backstage segments. And I think it gave it like a new vibe. But definitely the next match, Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. Wow, what a submission fest! What a hard-hitting match. Bryan was screaming out in pain at different moments in this match, where I think really helped sell the aggressiveness of Thatcher. Thatcher, his whole presentation with the classical music coming out. I haven't seen one of those gimmicks in a minute come out to the classical music, but it definitely matches his vibe and style. His stance, he has the old school professional wrestler stance. His wardrobe, everything about him screams as a callback type wrestler. He hits hard, he grabs hard, and yeah, it was a really, really, really hard hitting match. At moments, I was really worried about Bryan Danielson. Also, Bryan Danielson does that really well. Even though I know he's a tough SOB, there's moments where I'm really like concerned about him because I know his history and everything. But he plays that really well. Also, Thatcher was going for the arm. I mean, it was painted with bright red tape. That's MJF's goal, is to have his arm messed up because he has the salt of the earth. And Thatcher went for that arm. I mean, they had it painted in tape, but Bryan Danielson did a really good job keeping away from it as much as he could. But yeah, Thatcher's a hell of a talent. I wouldn't mind seeing him more in AEW.
Yeah, and listen, Bryan Danielson is on the best run of his career right now, and we don't know if he's going to be. We don't know when his contract is up. We don't know if he's going to resign or anything, but we don't know. But right now, he's on the best run of his career right now. After having bangers at the banger each week with Contesta, Bandito, Brian Cage, and Timothy Thatcher this week. And if you thought this week was a banger, wait till you find out who he faces next week, and we'll get to that soon.
Yep. It's another hard-hitting mother lover.
So we cut to a vignette where Sir Strickland and the mobile affiliates are shown talking about Dustin Rhodes in their run last week on Rampage. They decided to target Brian Pillman Jr. on Rampage this week, and Swerve referred to previous unnamed members of his crew, which is named Trench. I think that's what. So you have Parker Boudreaux and Trench. That's the name of with Swerve and the mobile affiliate. So I think their motive is to target any wrestlers that has like a wrestling family name. So I think that's what their motive. That's what their motives here. But I think they need to start focusing more on championship gold as well. So,
yeah, it was interesting seeing. It was interesting seeing some of this stuff. Seeing a little bit more about the mobile affiliates. And now we got Trench and that guy. Now we got at least got a name for him. But yeah, I hope this team don't lose steam. I hope they stay on it and stay on TV, because I think this is something that can either go right or really wrong. So hopefully it goes right.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Lexi Nair was backstage with Roosh, Jose the assistant, and Preston Vance, as he is told that he was facing Bryan Danielson next week. MJF walks in, and then I was like, hold up. When he walked in, he was like all freshly, so fresh and so clean, like like that backstage brawl had never happened. I was like, wait a minute, is this dude a wizard now? I mean, we be calling Jericho a wizard, but like, is he a wizard too?
I
Like
know
I
he
know
blows
the
everything.
like I know the freaking Hogwarts video game is coming out this week. I'm like, are we promoting wizards now? Is that what we doing? Like, how do you get that? Like this man was dressed like he about to go to a $200 dinner with his wife. Like, what's going on here? I don't
Yeah,
know. That is weird to me. Like he was in a brawl with and somehow he's so fresh and clean. I don't get it. So fast.
it's called a pre-tape.
You think it was pre-tape?
Yeah, that was a pre-tape for sure. They shot that earlier in the day, and they changed shirts, didn't know, and then now it looked like that was definitely a pre-tape.
I don't know. But he gave Roosh the briefcase of money, and he said the first one is for them. Next week, he needs to rip Danielson's arm and beat him over the head with it. If Roosh does that, he'll get another briefcase full of cash. So Roosh here was like, I don't care what you if what's in it for me. Like, why am I doing business for you? What's in it for me? So Roosh was like, if I beat Danielson, then I should get your title shot. That's why. That's the vibe I get. Now got with Roosh here. So like, but like he's gonna do the match, with Bryan Danielson. So that's what it's gonna be next week officially. For next week, it's gonna be Roosh versus Bryan Danielson.
That's going to be a good match.
Yep, another
Also,
banger.
also just came across. I think you spoke on a little bit real quick. Just Lenny Poffo, better known as the Genius, Macho Man's brother passed away today. So R.I.P. to his family, and well, condolences to his family.
Yeah,
Did you hear about that news?
nah, no, they just
They
announced
just
it a few minutes
yeah, they
ago.
just announced it. Yeah, the younger brother of Macho Man Randy Savage, who was really an ambassador for Macho Man after he passed away and was pushing to get him in the Hall of Fame and did his speech for him and inducted him and really tried to keep his memory alive. But yeah, Lenny Poffo passed away today. So condolences to the Macho Man's family, the Poffo family.
I didn't know that. But yeah, thanks for the update news. But moving on, Jay Cargill defending the TBS championship against Red Velvet and is looking to extend her streak to 50-0. So let me say, this was a another banger match finally. Yeah, because we some of us have been talking about Jay streak, like all those most of those matches didn't matter. The only ones that matter were the ones she had with Nyla Rose and then Red Velvet tonight. But but um but in the end, Jay Cargill defeated Red Velvet. I think like the second time, because I know that Red Velvet was our first victim, so she probably beat her for the second time, retained the TBS title, and she celebrated with her daughter at ringside after the match after going 50-0. But listen, so when the time comes, whoever beats Jay and give her first loss, they need to hold the title like a little bit longer, just as Jay did, and make that TBS title a little more prestige.
Prestige? How can you put more prestige on a 50-0 streak? What are you saying, my guy? Look, Jay looked great last night. She looked like a real challenger, a fighting champion. Every week she's getting better and better and better. Every victory, more and more and more. Red Velvet did take it to her last night. Red Velvet hit her hard. You see, her daughter was crying because Red Velvet wasn't holding back. Red Velvet was taking it to her, but still came on top. Jade 50-0, and that was a great finish. The way she reversed that move and was able to get the much smaller Jade into the position for her finisher. I don't know why Jade gets so much hate, but I hear it in the crowd every week. She gets claps, she gets cheers, she gets respect, and she's the only champion carrying her daughter out after a match to make sure her daughter know that she's okay. That was a class act move. Jade is impressive. Every week she comes out to that ring. Every week. And I don't know why people hate on her so much. I don't get it myself. I say, listen, only certain people can be as good as she is. And she looks like a star. She talks like a star. I ain't gonna say she wrestles like a star just yet, but she is getting better and better. And the fact that she has that 50-0 is a testament to who the person she is. So we all thought it was gonna go. They wouldn't let it go this far or let it go that long. 50-0, Miss Jade. Let's go. Big fan. Big fan of Jade.
Look, I ain't got nothing against Jade. I really love Jade, but I'm just saying that there's really no really competition with Jade. That's all I've been saying. Like
that's Jade's fault. That's Jade's fault. Now, it would be interesting if Nia Jax or if she went under a different name came and then they went at it, but I think someone's going to get injured from that match. So,
like in all honest opinion, she needs to face like someone like a Britt Baker, like a freaking Soraya. Like she needs to face those people. Like get some more competition. Like the people she had like during this streak, like they were nothing. There's some of them last probably like 3 minutes or something like that. That's why I said the competition that she had tonight with Red Velvet and one with Nia Rose, like those are the only ones that matter. All the other ones, that was just like one off, goodbye, see you next time, go to the next match. That was it.
I mean, she's the queen of her division. I mean, that's not her fault. I mean, the AEW women's division has their own people, and the TBS women's division have their own people. And Jade is queen of that division, 50-0. She's that good, bro. Like she's fun to watch. She's entertaining. So I say keep it going. Get it to let's see how far that thing can go.
But some saying that when Chris Stanlander returns, she might be the one. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But backstage with Renee Paquette, and she's with Britt Baker, asking how she was doing after attacked by Soraya and Tony Storm earlier. Ruby Soho interrupted and says, and asks she was doing all right, and also said she has nothing to do with the attack, which Baker did really believe. Baker says she's fine, and then says Ruby Soho walk off. So, Ruby Soho, do you think she will join Soraya's team or Baker's team?
Soraya's team. I would say Soraya's team for sure. I mean, she matched the aesthetic.
All right. So
and they got more, history together.
All right. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But main event. The ROH television champion and the AKA King of Television, Samoa Joe, versus the TNT champion, Darby Allin, in a no-holds-barred match. Now, with the VS, they said after this match, there won't be no rematches. So this was the rubber match between those two. And let me tell you, this was an all-out violent war. Even Darby Allin came out with a thumbtack jacket. I repeat, a thumbtack hoodie jacket. My goodness. Like, this take me back to WrestleMania 22 in Chicago with Air Spit Mick Foley, and then Mick Foley had that barbed wire wrap around his whole body and his chest, and then Edge was all bleeding from his arm when he hit the spear. Like, my goodness. My goodness.
Yeah, that was a crazy match. I mean, this match was just violent, beyond violent. I was very terrified for Darby Allin. I mean, Samoa Joe is a beast among men. I was surprised the first time it happened. I was surprised when Darby beat him the first time. But yeah, Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. I hope they don't fight again, because I'm tired of feeling like Darby Allin is close to perishing every time he fights Samoa Joe.
Yeah, because I think Darby Allin is about to get on the road with Sting and do the great Muda farewell match tour. I think that's gonna be on the road.
Yeah, that match, like I said, I hope Darby Allin just takes a break. He has been fighting too many big dudes. He needs to. I know he's been fighting big dudes his whole career, but geez, man, know when to fold them, because you need to have a long career. So hopefully he learns his lesson a little bit. But what a hell of a match! It was a great match, great TV, great entertaining match.
Yeah, there was a lot of spots in the match where Joe pulled out the table, and then when Darby Allin hit the dive, one part of the table cut, but Samoa Joe open, and also hitting a cameraman while hitting the dive. Even Allin got whipped through the steel steps all the way to the crowd. They fight to the crowd and everything. So they even cut the part of the ring on the bottom with the steel bars under, cutting that. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is getting like crazy. They even cut the wooden part of the ring, like, oh my goodness. So like in the final match, final moments, Allin hit a switchblade, started a rip array in the canvas, and the match to explode the wood of the ring. Joe rolled to the floor and sucker Alley into a diving through the ropes, missed and went through through the table, back inside. Joe powerbombed Allen on the thumbtack hoodie and wrapped it on his face. Allen fought back as he went for the coffin drop. Joe shoved the ref onto the ropes to crush Allen. Joe then hit the avalanche muscle buster on the exposed wood to win the TNT title and become a two-time TNT champion. And then after the match, Joe was about to celebrate until a returning Wardlow hit the ring and took down the new champion. Wardlow had his new haircut thanks to Joe last month when he cut off his ponytail, and it was about to hit the Powerbomb Symphony, but Joe bailed out as security tried to hold back Wardlow, but he laid them all out, looking to Powerbomb one from the ring to the floor as the show ended before we could even see it. So, man.
Yeah, I mean that. I thought when the way the show cut off, I was like, did Warlow just murder a security guard? But yeah, this that spine buster onto the exposed planks looked like it hurt it a lot for both of those guys, especially coming off the middle rope like that. But yeah, what a hell of a match! What a hell of a Dynamite! What a hell of a show. I mean, each week the acting is getting better, the segments are getting better. Somebody over there is producing the hell out of this show, and it's just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, so even though it was great to see Allen win the TNT title again when he was in his hometown of Seattle, and then put up another impressive run in his second reign, but we didn't expect for it to go back to Joe, but now after seeing what happened in the post match, now they're going back to Joe versus Wardlow, probably at Revolution, and then that's when Rolo takes the TNT title back from Samoa Joe. That's the road that they're going for. But as far as for Allen, like you said, man, like Allen needs at least a week off to heal off his wounds. But
Yes.
like I said before, but he's going on the road with Sting for the great Muda farewell tour. So this will be enough time to give him at least a week off from Dynamite. So yeah, so that's what we're going for here with Samoa Joe and Warlow. And Warlow's look a little bit different. I kind of do miss the ponytail, but it is what it is, and that's what's going to be happening possibly at Revolution. So and with that in mind, let's go down the list what's happening on Rampage this week. So we got the Elite defending the AEW Trios Tag Team titles against Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. Tony Storm and Saraya will be in action. Roosh will take on Christopher Daniels, and then Swerve Strickland takes on Brian Pillman Jr. And then next week on Dynamite, MJF faces Kota Takesha in an AEW World Title Eliminator match. Ricky Starks attempt to run the Garcia Guevara Gauntlet. Bryan Danielson versus Roosh. AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter takes on Bunny in a title eliminator match. And then the Acclaim defend the AEW Tag Team titles against the Guns.
Sounds like a packed show. Can't wait to see it.
Yep, definitely a packed show. So we're about about a month away from for Revolution. So hopefully we get some more stories and more matches build up to the pay-per-view. But we'll see where it goes from there. To the pay-per-view.
Yep, I'm excited. But yeah, this is a really good episode of Dynamite. Dynamite has been killing it. Every episode in January has been a banger episode. So this is any indication of the rest of the year. I'm excited to see what they do. The new look is working, all the new graphics, everything. Black and gold AEW is no more. We are in the new era of AEW, and they are looking like a well-ran ship. So maybe they needed to hit bottom of what happened last year so they can progress and propel forward. So I mean, it looked like the investment that they made all last year and all these big name wrestlers are paying off because now they can get new stuff. So it looks like the company is growing. I'm hoping this trend continues on because January was a great month for Dynamite.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, before we wrap up, anything else you want to plug in?
Hey man, my wife and I, we just watched like draft 1.5 of Empathy. The movie is looking good. I'm working on that today. Hopefully they have that out for you guys like in the next month or so. But it's a big project, man, and it's taking some time, but we're getting close and closer and closer to having it all done. But it is looking like a fun thrill ride. You guys are not gonna want to miss. I feel a little privileged to be able to watch some of this stuff before I give it over to you guys. But rather than that, man, follow our page, Cupcake_Rapture_Studios, for more of our content. We have a lot of more hot stuff coming out, and we're gonna have more hot stuff for you guys from this platform and from this show coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see the final project, and also can't wait to see the final project of Anthony, and that's on the way too.
I know, man. I got Anthony Ogogo in that one. It's crazy.
Yeah, can't wait to see that man on screen as well. But other than that, he is Leland, and I'm Trico, and we'll sign off, and we'll see y'all soon for our next review show. And we'll see.
Peace.